Okay. So, my first question is, what did Miss Rooney do in her I do to make sure that her scholars understood the lesson?
Well, she stated the skill. She did a description of it, and then she also kind of like she brought it back to the story that they had read, like they read before, to kind of model it for them.
Okay, and so what was the impact of her just having a very clear I do before they read?
Probably makes it a little bit easier for them to pull out the information themselves and be able to use that skill.
Right. So then for your video, like, so we watched your video, and so like I want you to, what do you think,
Harris for
I'm
discipline?
sorry. What do you think was the gap between your lesson and what Miss Rooney did?
I think my model could have been stronger for them. I did state the skill, I did describe it, but I feel like the model could have been a little bit stronger.
Yes, I actually agree. So, and what is the impact of having a very clear model when you do your before reading with your scholars?
Well, because especially for them, this is completely brand new, haven't seen it. They have not only need to figure out what cause effect is and how am I going to use it.
Right, exactly. So, what do you think your action step is for next week?
To make a better model.
For your
I do.
very, exactly. So, that is your action step. So, what we're going to do today is, can you have do you know what's your next lesson, your next worksheet that you're gonna have them do for cause and effect out of here?
No, because next week we're gonna do the testing.
Yeah,
But
so
yes,
we'll
but-
plan ahead, yeah,
yes,
so,
yes, yes.
what would be your next worksheet for them?
So for them, we would probably do this one right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what me and you are gonna do together is like, we're gonna look at your, we're just gonna look at the lesson and like, we're gonna create a strong model for you, using a lesson that you're going to have the kids do.
Okay.
So can you just like restate to me, I'm sorry, what we're gonna do today for your practice?
We are going to create a lesson and model that I'm going to be able to teach to the kids.
Okay, so, and we can actually just like do the model for the first one.
Okay.
Here's something to write on for you.
And then, so for this part, do you want me to write down all the way from the beginning? or
Yeah, I would
start
just write, I would
from-
do the whole, I would start at the beginning and go through your entire I do. So we're gonna script out your I do. for example.
Yeah. Just switch the cause and effect.
Yeah. Or I don't know, I guess it could go either way, honestly.
It makes a lot more sense than this was. Makes more sense the other way though.
So the only like thing that I have that would be different from you is just like, so your definition of the definition that you give them. So like I have a different definition, so if we wanna look at those.
Yeah, 'cause it's like, the definition, I feel like the examples are only thing are helping the definition right now.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
it's
like,
tricky.
I have the reason why the effect is the reason why something happens. Right?
Yes, so instead of saying the cause first, the effect is the reason why something happens.
Oh, wait a minute, actually, let me make sure I'm doing it right. So, no, okay, the cause is the reason why something happens, the effect is because of the cause. So, like, I think it's kinda hard to define it in a way that's like kid friendly for them, so let's think about that, like, what's a way we can define it for them that's kid friendly? So like,
So, even event isn't even, so cause is. So the cause is I did like the reason something happens, and the effect is
so
what
the,
didn't happen?
so the effect, so I'm sorry. The cause is, yes,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
The cause is the reason why something happens. The effect is what happens because of the cause. So the effect is what happens. So like, I actually think that would be very difficult for them.
Yes.
So here's another example maybe. An action or event that causes something to happen. Because is a clue word that helps kids identify the cause. An effect is the event or action that happened because as a result of another action. So we can just define a cause as an event that happens, and the effect is what happened because of that.
Better.
And then we can always say, because is a clue word that helps you identify the cause. So I actually think that that's something, so like, I put on my raincoat because it was wet.
Yeah.
So that might be a good skill to teach them, to put the word because in between. So like, even if we look at this example,
Yeah.
the chain on a bicycle broke because the wheels would not turn, right?
Yeah.
So like, that makes sense. So
That's
just like to have a
that's good
clearer definition, that would be the only thing. So if you wanna look at this definition, if you wanna change your definition, and I
Yeah,
didn't
like
use
that.
it word for word, but it just says like, the cause is just something that happens. Like, instead of using event, I would actually just say something that happens. And the effect is what happened because of that event, or because of what happened.
And then you said the
Effect is what happens because of.
Because of the.
Well, it says because of the event or action.
Oh, okay.
And then I would also like make sure that you note in there to like use because as a keyword.
Then maybe my next thing is to say like, you can use because to help you out. And
Yes,
then,
so like,
model it in
yep.
number one.
So, are you ready to practice? Okay. Are you ready? So like our goals is just so that it's a very clear, precise I do that's easy for the kids to follow.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about cause and effect. Cause is something that happens. The effect is what happens because of the event in action. You can use because to help you find out your answer. So I'm going to look at number 1. The chain on the bicycle broke. I'm going to use my keyword to help me out to find my effect. The chain on the bicycle broke because the wheels would not turn. That sounds right. So the chain on the bicycle broke because the wheels did not turn. That makes a lot of sense. So let's look at number 2 together. And that'll be my we do, right?
Yeah, and then that would be your we do. And like if you have like 7, like I would do 2, like 2, I do 2, we do. So do you want to try it one more time? Like I actually like, just make sure, like I know that like cause and effect is just like a hard thing to define. I think we're figuring out. So, and we can like, I can even continue to look for definitions for you that may make it easier to define it for
I try
them.
to Google like so much.
And then we can, and like another thing that you can do is just like anchor charts for cause and effect. So they gave out the that little folder that they had for everybody.
Oh,
But,
so it should be in the shirt.
you can, but like you can also like, if you want something, like yeah, so like something like even just like introducing anchor charts of the skills that they're working on, so they even have like a visual representation.
I have them on like, I do them on smaller ones, so I can have it posted with the group.
Yeah, so like I would actually do a bigger one so that like it's up and
Okay.
everybody can see it, and just like, cause eventually you're gonna have to use it again with another group.
True. Okay, I'm just gonna have to master.
Yeah, so if you wanna try that one more time.
Yeah. Okay, today we're gonna talk about cause and effect. Cause is something that happens. The effect is what happens because of the event in action. You can use because to help you find your answer. So I'm gonna do number 1 to show you how to use it. The chain on the bicycle broke. I'm gonna use my keyword because to help me out. The chain on the bicycle broke because the wheels would not turn. That sounds right. So I'm gonna say it again to make sure I've got it right. The chain on the bicycle broke because the wheels would not turn.